people love to sing in the key of B. Some people love to sing in the key of C. Some people love to sing in the key of E. Same thing when you look at fire. Looking at fire, you think of fire, think of light. Everything, is all similes of one another. You got light and you got fire. Instead of using, fire to dissemble the sacrifice, light, which is symbolic of fire, which is frequency, you use frequency in this gate to disperse the person. The military have been experimenting with this, what they call, they use sound waves, disperse sound waves to affect the organs in the body. Have y'all heard about that? Where they can, while you're in the battlefield, they can send out a certain frequency that affects your bowels. They'll make you have diarrhea right there in the battlefield. And so, the same thing with this Stargate. It deals with vibration and frequency that affect the body. And in that frequency, like I said back here in the beginning about light, there's instruction. And this instruction tells the body microorganism, this is what you must do. Because the instructions is within it. The same thing applies with the sacrifice. When you put the sacrifice in its order, Yahweh, according to what he speculates on the altar, when it burns, it falls in place within this grid on the altar. And when you look at this, it's the same thing. They lay it down in a certain pattern of order. And when you look at on this altar, when you look at the law, it gives you direction. It gives you north, south, east, west, and east. South, north, west, and all four. But with this Stargate, if you notice, in the heavens, you got the constellation, what they call the house. In Revelation, they have stones above each gate. In the days of old, in the old radio, they used to have crystals. Because crystals modulate at a certain frequency. And I did a test one time, and even in Abilene, they did this test to show a point about how frequency and vibration affect us. Like a few years ago, Abilene, they were doing a test over the radio, and they said I couldn't hear the sound, but they had a sound come across the radio, and they said, if anybody can hear the sound, call in. Now, what I did, Yada had a program that it was a frequency generator, and what I did, I took that frequency generator, on his laptop at the time, and I played this sound through the frequency generator. I couldn't hear it, but my children could hear it. And they said, Daddy, can you hear that? It's heard in our ears. And I said, but I can't hear it. Now, the sound that I could hear, y'all couldn't hear. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because everything in life has a frequency. When you know the frequency in the human anatomy, you can make it do whatever you want it to do, just like music. If I play a certain beat, people get up and start a dance. Young generation, they love rap. If I play rap, they gonna get up and rap. Some of the older ones, we like the more slower, music that has some meaning to it. So we understand that. So with sound, vibration, and frequency, it affects matter. Now I'm gonna review this. I'm gonna show you in the scripture here, with the Holy Scripture where you see this. At that time, it was for the future, because But whenever that charter space where they're going at, that's where they were being to. They would disassemble and take it to that point. Now, what I want you to do, somebody who got a Holy Scripture, I want you to turn to Judges. Go ahead.
Well, what's interesting is that you have four corners on the sleeve, you have four corners on the altar, you have four corners on the gate. And we know that lemon can carry a certain frequency because it's also a grid.
That's right. So it's far.
Why does it, when you watch the Stargate, why does it always look like they're going through water?
Okay. Now, as I was saying before, water can be in light. That water is alive. And a great movie to see about water. What's that movie? Let me see. With the water, about the rabbit hole.
We've done a rabbit hole?
Down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Down the rabbit hole.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and that's the most interesting question. If you look in, when you read in the beginning, it talks about affirming the expand. The word expand is another word for membrane. It separated the waters above and the waters below. We right now, there's different states of water. We're walking through a mass of water now, but more in a vapor form. That's why when you see when the light gets, when the atmosphere is just right, if it's misty, the lighting hits the water vapor and you can see a rainbow. In the human physiology book, with the space between the earth and the heaven is known as a synapse. That's another term. The space between. Here, like we got in the body, what they call dendrites and axon. We're in between this space, which is called a synapse of water. You got water above and water below. And it's like we're in between these two firmaments, because the different levels of the firmament. I can't name all. They got a stratosphere and all these different
Ions.
Yeah, each one of them, they serve a purpose. But because in water itself, like I said before, light has instruction, and the water itself has light, and it forms to that instruction in the water. The first thing that is created when a child is being developed, do y'all know what it is? I know you know.
The fluid, the organ that first developed.
I'm telling you, it'll blow your mind. I'm telling you. What's that?
Spinal cord.
So what's the spinal cord known as?
Nervous system.
I said that's the first thing that is made. The nervous system. And what I can do, I can show you that in the Holy Scripture about that. And that's the thing that Yahweh has direct control of, is the nervous system. That is the spirit of man. And I can prove it. Now, the autonomic system, what is the autonomic system? Okay, explain it.
It's the unconscious system that automatically regulates all the functions of our body.